The Gauteng provincial government is joining the Post Bank among state-owned entities seeking a banking license. The Post Bank is still in the wings to receive its banking license, while Post Bank was instructed by the South African Reserve Bank to improve cyber security after having lost almost 100 million rand to cybercrime since 2021. The Gauteng provincial government has received the much-anticipated reports on the legal framework and compliance towards the establishment of a state-owned bank and the state-owned pharmaceutical company.
I'm very much pleased to say to you that this completes the process of testing what the law is saying about whether Gauteng provincial government can proceed with the establishment of both the state-owned bank and the pharmaceutical company. So this process is now complete.
The province says the legal opinion came at the cost of 4 million rand and was necessary in identifying the risks associated with corruption and issues of compliance with the legislation. The MEC says they will now be consulting with the role players, including the Premier, Gauteng residents and labour unions.
We are pleased that we are ready to approach our Premier, the provincial government, and of course the MECs. Let me just mention to you that tomorrow we are consulting with the MEC of Health and the team at Health, the clinicians, and we also expecting to see some CEOs of hospitals there to say to them, this is what the due diligence report is saying and what it's proposing on the pharmaceutical company. We will also consult, for example, the MEC of Economic Development, MEC Mutara, who also have got some of the institutions in the province that are a critical stakeholder to this process.
Corporate law expert Sepo Mongalo has warned that obtaining a fully fledged banking license is costly and a process that can take years.
The reality is that the journey is still a long way to go. In fact, all the approval processes that the Gauteng government still need to do are such that even this victory that is being celebrated now may appear to have been premature at the time when the process for applying for approvals start. And therefore, I think to a large extent this may have to do with the showcasing what the ANC government is doing, and therefore in preparation for the elections next year. But I do think that the celebration at the moment is premature, but the establishment of a state bank is undeniably a commendable thing that should be done by a state. And for Gauteng government to take this bold step, it's actually a step in the right direction.
The province has the Township Economic Development Act in place and believes the establishment of a bank will support local businesses and help increase the province's 35% overall GDP contribution.
Townships have been a victim of a deliberate policy of the apartheid government to exclude, undermine underdeveloped townships. They can't continue as they are. We need a financial muscle, financial capacity to zoom specifically into the townships. There's now talk of green finance. We also need this green finance to prop up the economy in the township.
The MEC has also dismissed claims that the establishment of a state bank will be a duplication of processes, looking at efforts underway by the Department of Communications and Postal Services in finalizing plans to transition the Post Bank into a full-service state bank.
The bank will not be a duplication in any way. We are much more better when we have more banks, because countries that have moved forward in the whole world have had as many banks and different models and types. So we have got to transform the banking system.
The Finance MEC convinced that the due diligence report now clears the legal hurdles and provides Gauteng with a strong legal framework towards establishing a state-owned bank and a state-owned pharmaceutical company. The MEC convinced, though, that corruption won't overtake the efforts, with the process now moving towards a stakeholder consultation with the residents and the township businesses touted to be the big winners when the establishment of these entities is complete.